friends, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a card using Lawn Fawn's Highland Cows, Pick of the Patch add-on, You Crow Girl, Happy Harvest, You Goat This, and all the speech bubbles. I've stamped my images in Memento Rich Cocoa ink on Copic friendly cardstock, and I'll be coloring with my Copic markers. I'm also going to open up my color reference book that I have been creating for the last couple of years to the page where I recently did 6 ways to color Highland cows, and I'll leave that off to the side so I can use that as a guide. So I am starting with E40, E41, and E43 for the body of this little Highland cow. I'm actually doing a mashup of cow number 1 and cow number 2 from that reference sheet. I'm doing the body like cow number 2 and then the hair like cow number 1. So that's another way that you can use those sheets. You can still mix and match. It's not like there's only 6 ways to color these critters. Those videos are only meant to inspire you to try out some different combos that you might not have thought of yourself, and you know, it's just a jumping off point. So I am starting with E43, blending out with E41, and then I'm filling in with E40. I also used a little bit of E40 on the muzzle to kind of give that a little bit of definition, and then left the rest white. And then I'm also going to bring in E44 while I have these shades out. I'm going to add a little dark tip to the horns and also color in the hooves. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to color the center of my sunflower, the stems of all of my pumpkins, and I'm going to blend out that E44 with the E43. For the hooves, I'm just going to finish filling them in completely, but for the stems and the flowers, I will also bring in the E41. For the cow's horns, I skipped right down to the E40, and I also added a touch of that E40 into that muzzle again. It's the same shade I laid down earlier, I just added an extra layer of it. And then I'm going to blend out those pumpkin stems, and I'm going to color in the centers of the daisy type flower as well with the E44 and the E43. Then I'm going to keep that E40 and add in E50 and E51, and I'll use that for the Highland cow's hair. I also added a touch of that into the horns just to brighten them up a bit. It has a bit more of a warm tone to it rather than the desaturated tones of the E40s. So adding in that E40 with those E50s kind of helps it blend a little bit better with the previous family. Now I'm bringing in Y11 with YR20, YR21, and YR23 for my hay bale. I'm adding a little bit of shading with the YR23 down at the bottom of each section, and then an even smaller little bit of shading on the top. I'll blend that out with the YR21, and then flick upwards with that YR20. And then I'll lay in a little bit of that Y11 right over top of that YR20 to again warm that up just a little bit. Then I'll switch to T0, T1, T3, and T5 for my crow. The T5 I'm adding to the beak and blending out with the T3. For the body, I actually started with the T3. I was afraid to go too dark since I did stamp these images in brown rather than black. I just wanted to do that for today. It kind of gives them almost like a storybook feel that I really love. But I decided that I did want him to be a little bit darker after I laid in those initial shades. So I did go back over and add in that T5 and blend it back out. Then I'm going to bring in R11, R20, and R22 to give my cow and my crow some rosy cheeks. I'm also going to color in my sunflower pink. So last fall at my local grocery store at Wegmans, I happened to notice that in their cut flower section that they had pink sunflowers, and I thought they were so beautiful, and I kind of just filed that detail away because at the time I was already like making Christmas cards, but I kind of filed it away, and I'm bringing that idea back out for today's card and doing a pink sunflower. I'm also going to color in some of these smaller flowers. I'm just going to use 2 shades for them. So on the one on the right, I used the R22 blended out with the R20. The one on the left, I did the R20 blended out with the R11. And then I'm also going to do those little stems that have the trio of little blossoms on them. I wanted to do a fall card, but I really wanted it to be very feminine and have a lot of pink and kind of cranberry tones. So I'm going to bring in R37 and R39 for the other 2 daisy type flowers. Since these are fall flowers, I feel like this is a color that you typically see in the fall, at least here in the US. And then I'm also going to do that center flower on the little flower crown. Switching to some orange shades, I'm using YR12, YR14, and YR18 for my pumpkins. I'm not too concerned about the center pumpkin in that trio from the Pick of the Patch add-on because it is going to be mostly covered up. I mean, it's actually going to be completely covered up, but in my original design, I wasn't sure if a little bit of it might peek out, so I am going to color it. I didn't want to leave it white, but I wasn't worried about adding too much detail to it. So initially I just colored it in solid with the YR14, but then I got a little bit worried in case any of it did actually show, so I am going to go back and add just a little detail super quick. But for these, I just started with the YR18 along the line there to kind of give a little bit of shading into the groove, blended out with the YR14, and then the YR12 is my highlight. And then I just went back in and added that detail into the larger one, drawing in those lines with the YR18. Again, not worrying about being too precise since I knew it wasn't really going to show very much, if at all. But I did just go back over that twice to make sure it's nice and bold. And then for all of my leaves and stems, I'm going to use G43 and G46. I really like this color for kind of a fall green because it's a little bit more desaturated as well. It's not super vibrant or bright. So I just feel like it fits in the season when there's still some greenery. So I'm using that G46 for the darkest, blending out with the G43, filling in all of the leaves. They're all going to be the same. And then once I've finished this coloring, I'm going to trim these images out with their matching dies. For my background, I've taken a piece of Bristol Smooth Surface cardstock and trimmed that down with one of the Stitched Circle Stackables. This is the largest of the small Stitched Circle Stackables. And I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn Cloudy Stencil and 2 shades of Distress Oxide ink. I'm using Saltwater Taffy for the darkest and then some Spun Sugar for the lightest. So I'm adding the Saltwater Taffy in first, right up against the line of the stencil, and then kind of blending up the panel with the lighter shade to help it fade as we go up. And I'm just going to continue turning that stencil to get a different cloud formation. You can even flip it over if you need to get 4 more, orientations of those clouds. And I'm going to do a total of 3 on this panel. And then I will add just a little extra ink down at the bottom so it's not so stark white. I always like to do that so it just matches with the rest of the clouds. Then I'm going to switch to the Slimline Grassy Stencil, and bring in 2 more shades of Distress Oxide ink. I'm using Bundled Sage and Rustic Wilderness. I'm going to go in with the Rustic Wilderness right up along the grass line. So the darker shade first, and then I'll blend at the bottom with the Bundled Sage. So we get the darker impression where the stencil was, and then it'll kind of fade toward the bottom. So once I'm happy with that, I can set that aside to dry, and I'm going to work on my sentiment. So I'm popping a piece of the speckled eggshell cardstock from Lawn Fawn into my Misty, and I am doing a sentiment from the Fantastic Friends add-on. I'm doing the kind of banner frame first, and then I'm going to line up my sentiment right inside that, and I chose the one that says, "Have a very happy day." I feel like that's a great overall sentiment that can work for many different occasions. So I'm stamping that inside the lines, but I felt like it was just a little bit too close to the edges, and I didn't like that. So I'm actually just going to flip it over the panel since I had enough room, and I'm going to re-stamp that and just die cut that with one of the Everyday Sentiment banners instead. I stamped that down a couple of times to make sure I had a nice bold impression, and then I'm going to pop my card base in my Misty. I'm using Lawn Fawn Blush cardstock. This is a newer shade of cardstock for Lawn Fawn, and I have really been loving it. And I'm stamping on the inside in Wild Rose ink, and I chose one of the Highland cows, and the "You're the Best" sentiment was from All the Speech Bubbles. So whenever you place an order from Lawn Fawn directly, they include 3 sheets of pattern paper with your order as kind of just a little thank you gift. And I always save mine, so I'm actually going through those today and pulling out 3 different patterns that I want to use on today's card that kind of go in that kind of pinky salmon color range with that desaturated beige. I've trimmed those down with the largest of the large stitch rectangle stackables, and I am going to glue the leaf print down to my card base. It's going to fit completely because this is an A2 standard size card, 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. The kind of beige plaid I trimmed down just selectively with the bottom of the Stitch Party Banners dies, so I get that nice flag end. I'll glue that down next, and then I'm going to glue this star print down over top, a little bit high of center. And I will have the pattern paper pads that these are from linked down below. Then I've added some foam tape to the back of my focal panel so that I can pop that up and give it a little bit of dimension on the card. Just peeling off those release papers, and then I'm going to line that up in the center of that pink star print. Then I can grab my sentiment that I've trimmed down with the Everyday Sentiment banner, and I am going to glue that down on the lower part of the grass. I'm actually going to line up the center of that banner with the cut edge of the pattern paper. So where those 2 pattern papers meet, the center of that banner is going to line up with that. And then I can bring in my images. The first one that I'm going to place down is the trio of pumpkins, but I want to trim off this little like spiral shoot of a vine that comes out of the center one, because when I laid my Highland cow over it as like a template, I knew it kind of stuck out and looked a little odd because you don't see the pumpkin. So I added that down first, and then I'm going to glue the hay bale down in front of that, and then I'm going to take my Highland cow and have it sitting on top of the hay bale. So you see what I mean? Like, you don't really see that center pumpkin at all. To be honest, I probably could have just left it plain with the 1 shade of marker, but I wasn't 100% sure when I was coloring it. Then I'm going to take my little speech bubble sentiment and add that to the right of the Highland cow. I'll take my pink sunflower and put that down at the lower left of the hay bale. And I'm just going to continue kind of working around the scene and filling things in. I'm going to add that extra little pumpkin over on the right hand side to kind of balance out the sunflower. And then I'm going to add that little tuft of grass kind of between that and the hay bale just to break up the color. And I'm going to add that adorable tiny crow from You Crow Girl. I love that image so much. I love all the crows from Happy Harvest, but I especially love this little tiny one. I'll start filling in some of the flowers around the edges of the scene. I'm going to kind of stagger them. So I have one of the darker red ones, and then I'll have the kind of lighter pink trio one kind of, mixed in, just again to break up those colors so that your eye really shifts around the scene and takes in all of the different elements. So I'm working quickly because this glue does dry really fast, but I just want to be able to shift things around a little bit as needed. I'm going to add that little flower crown to my Highland cow. I think that looks so cute on top of her head. And then I am going to kind of peel up that one darker flower that I put down. I wanted to shift that just slightly. So I just peeled it up really gently, and luckily I was able to get it up without tearing the cardstock. It did tear the back of the image a little bit, but that's no big deal. And then I'm going to add the little pink trio of flowers in the mix there as well, and kind of just shift things around until I like how it's looking. And then that third dark flower I'm going to add down in front next to the sunflower. So again, I'll just add my liquid glue and then add that into that space right there. So all that's left are the 3 leaves, and I stamped those all in Lawn Fawn ink. I did the light pink one in Ballet Slippers, the medium pink one in Wild Rose, which is the same that I used on the inside of the card, and then the darkest one is in Cranberry. I'm going to add the light pink one down at the bottom because it would match too well with the sky background. And then for the other 2, I'm going to use those to fill up some empty space in that top left corner. And I am adding like some little like movement marks. This is actually from the You Goat This stamp set. I think it's meant for the tail wagging, but I thought it would work well for these leaves since there's not a lot of room there for like a butterfly trail or something that you would normally use. So I just added those, stamped those down, and then glued my leaves in place right next to that. And then I wanted to bring in a little bit of embellishment, so I'm going to use these new Lawn Fawn sequins. These are the iridescent sequins, and there's 3 different sizes in that jar. I'm going to use 1 of each. So I have a large and a small down at the lower right, and then a medium at the top left. And I'm just going to pick those up with my embellishment wand and add a dab of glue and then set them down into that liquid glue and let them dry. And then of course I need to bring in some stickles. I always have to have a little bit of sparkle on my cards. I'm going to do the centers of all of my flowers, and then I'm also going to add just a little bit to each of those leaves. And then of course I'm going to fill in the centers of my sequins, so there's just a little extra sparkle there as well. And that is going to finish up this card. I'll lift that up so you can see it in a bit more detail and give you another peek at the inside. Have you guys started your fall cards yet? This is my first one of 2026, but I really love how it turned out. If you enjoyed it too, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell if you want to be alerted when I post new videos. The products I used will all be listed and linked in the description bar below the video in case you'd like to pick up anything for yourself, and I'll also put up 2 extra videos in case you'd like to check those out. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you soon in the next. Bye-bye!